Hey everybody, my name is Mr. Dupa. That right there is Adam Obesis Rodriguez
Excelsior.
and Drunk Dave Romero.
I'm just shaking my head at you. That was bad.
Tonight's
I don't know if that was a Stan Lee impression or you were just trying to do your own thing.
No, I panicked a little bit and went for Stan.
okay. Tonight's brew.
You gotta sound a lot more dead.
Oh,
Almost dead.
Oh,
It's gonna be a sad day.
bad taste.
But it's coming.
Tonight's brew is the Wyld Extra Pale Ale from Uinta Brewing Company. It's organic. It's brewed with barley malt. It looks
smells
delicious.
good.
It does smell
Stop
good.
talking, let's drink it.
Okay. This is the One Beer In Podcast.
Hey.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in. Yes, I'm cold.
Me gusta.
Yeah,
I like that a
yeah,
lot.
that's good.
Yeah.
It's a good. It tastes like a good summer beer.
It's very refreshing.
Can is deceiving. I thought it was gonna be like a dark beer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with extra pale ale, but like the way it just.
It's an orange can. I don't know.
I'm a fan. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we've had anything from Uinta.
No.
Oh, well, first time
you've had.
that I've ever
or
had
we've
anything
had
from Uinta.
on the show.
Yeah,
Right. I guess that's a better way. Yeah.
I think so, right?
Yeah, it's definitely
First one we featured on here.
So far, they've been pretty consistent in their quality. The other two we had was their IPA, and I think it was an Imperial IPA that we had. Forgot the names of them completely.
Yeah. We'll get back to you on that. But
We'll probably spotlight them on here since it's such a good brewing company. You guys are talking about how good their other ones are. I want to taste more from this company because this is delicious.
Yeah.
I'm going 5.5.
ooh, is that the highest you've
That is the
scored
highest
something?
Marco's
I
gone.
think that is the
Wow,
highest.
new
I've gone.
record. Nice.
I enjoy this. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 5. It's good. I like it.
I'm going 5. It's good. It's refreshing. I tend to like beers with a bit stronger of a taste, but it almost has like a citrusy kind of vibe for me.
I don't go that far.
I don't know. It's good though. It's good.
Agree to disagree.
A very drinkable beer, I would say.
It's a very drinkable drink.
Yes.
As all
good
drinks
stuff.
should be.
So 2 5s and a 5.5. Good job.
Out of 6.
Yeah. So, as I said, this is the One Baron podcast. It is episode 10. We made it to double digits, boys.
Yeah.
Studio audience clap. It's good. It's a good anniversary.
Right. And actually, rolling off of that, let me cut you off, Marco.
Okay.
Because my first topic of the week has to do with the fact that we did make it 10 episodes in, which I think all of us at the start of this thing kind of didn't really know if we'd even get to this point. So
Agreed.
it's a little impressive, being in this thing and actually, going through with it, since it's kind of the first project I feel like we've all worked on together that we've seen through.
Yeah.
So, first of all, big pat on the back for all of us. Let's all.
I'll pat you guys
Let's-
on the back.
yes.
And in turn, pat me on the
It's
back.
Okay.
This is a regular old circle jerk.
It's good. It's good. But anyway, my question to you guys is, in doing this podcast, what has it done for you, sort of within your life, if it has done anything? I know it's kind of a big question to pose to you out of the blue, but kind of take it in.
Yeah, a little heads up would have been cool.
No. I want the freshest answers for this question. I can start off since you guys need to kind of think about
Yeah,
it. But
do that, and then I'll just say what you said,
okay.
just differently.
That works fine. I'd say for me, in the past, we never really talked as much as we do on this. So I feel like it's kind of helped as far as just having human communication with somebody else.
Now we sound like we have like relationship problems.
Yeah. Like, this is just our therapy.
We don't. Is it not?
This is just our our couples therapy.
We never
I think
talk
it would get-
anymore.
I think it would get a lot darker if it really was.
Yeah. Just start yelling and there'd be blood.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like Marco said, seriously, you're not supposed to laugh after
I'm
that.
sorry. I saw his face.
Why would there be blood?
That's what he made this face like, why the fuck would we be bleeding? It was just the confusion on his face. Like, why did it go to that place so fast?
You present this as such a positive topic, and like if it was therapy, we would hurt each other.
Yeah, no,
very
Murder
badly.
each other.
There'd be violence.
There would be blood.
There would be violence. Anyway, but I really feel like as far as just, I don't mean to get super deep, but as a human being, we generally we don't talk as much as I think people are supposed to. In this day and age, like we're all on our computers and smartphones and mostly text
You just mean
nowadays.
in general?
In general, yeah.
Right, like
In general, in your life, how has this affected
quote
you?
some house lyrics. Everyone's connected, but no one is connecting.
There you go.
Marco. I don't know. I forgot what song that's from.
Add some Euro beats to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me personally, that's the strongest thing I've seen out of it was that we've, I think, all been able to kind of talk face to face more and feel more comfortable doing that, having that human connection, because generally our generation doesn't really have that very strongly. And think about the kids coming up after us.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to some, like, it's difficult to, even if we go out to, like, a party or some sort of social gathering, you see, like, the groups together, people don't really like to branch out and meet other people.
No.
Like, some people do, but it's kind of rare to see that, to go to, like, a party where you know, like, one person, and then be able to talk to other people and
Yeah.
feel like you can, you know,
It's kind of
have a conversation.
It's like a lost art, I think, that we're kind of losing as time goes on, you know.
Just regular conversation.
Regular conversation, meeting new people and being able to just talk, to make a human connection and talk
Yeah.
to somebody without having an ulterior motive, without having to need something from them.
Or to stop and, like, think about, how am I going to respond to this?
Yeah.
Because I could send you a text and you have all the time in the world to respond to it.
Yep.
It's killing so many of the things that the last generation just grew up doing. It's killing quick timing, you know, like you were
Like
saying,
wit.
Right.
wit,
Just
thinking
having
on
wit.
your feet, being able to just say something witty without having to fucking Google it or something.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's killing communication. It's killing relationships. I mean, people now, Match.com and,
Right.
and all these like dating sites, which, you know, everything, there's two sides to all of these conversations. Obviously, the technological advancements are, you know, it's amazing, the kind of stuff that we can do now, but at what cost?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And this, you're right, this does kind of help bridge that gap, I guess, from, because when we're not together, we are communicating through technology, and that's it. We don't even call each other, which, I mean, it would be kind of weird to have like a three-way conversation like it was like 97, but it's still, you know, this is a good way to exercise that muscle, you know,
Yeah.
to just be able to hold a conversation with people, because people don't know how to do that anymore. People are really weird and awkward.
It's
Yeah.
You don't think about it, but people aren't fluent in their own language.
Right. Yep. That's
To be able to speak without having to pause and go,
Right.
and, you know, think about something. A lot of people can't do that.
Well, it's a language of humanity more than anything else, because I feel like it's probably the same in other cultures too. It's not just an American thing; it's a worldwide thing now that the internet's spread everywhere,
Right.
and there's technology in most countries, you know, minus third world countries, stuff like that. But I feel like as far as
even there.
well, yeah, I mean it's growing. That's the main point. But
Which,
you
like
know.
I said, it's good and it's bad. It's good that, you know, they're getting technology, but it's that disease is spreading to them. You know.
you get the good and the bad of the progress that we're making with this whole thing, but we're losing a bit of our humanity with it. So it's interesting to see where things are going. I think that the whole podcast movement is helping people to just take a minute of their time to sit back and not only, if you're performing a podcast, you're able to talk with people and have that kind of rapport that you're kind of missing out in normally, but also if you listen to podcasts too, it's a thing that you kind of miss out nowadays from not having the you know, the big AM radio stations that people used to listen to all the time, and having that, you know, just one sensory organ working at the moment. You're sitting there, you're listening to something, you know, and you're invested in that.
Yeah, I think that's, now that you say it like that, it's kind of odd to think of just having one, like, because we're always so engulfed in some sort of stimulus. and just sitting there, like if you're driving or just working on something, and you only have one like auditory input, and that's all you can do. You can't retort, you can't respond. It really kind of trains you to just listen.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Pay attention.
You don't always have to speak. You don't always have to say something. Sometimes just shut up and listen.
Louis C.K. has a good bit about that, where he's driving, and he says that people are always, the reason that people text and drive, and the reason that people are on their phones all the time is because there's that void that every human being has, that emptiness.
Oh, being alone.
Yeah.
Right, and the way that you push it down is by picking up a phone and twittering and sending it out and waiting for people to respond. That's how you keep that down. And he was like, one day I put the phone away and I let Springsteen play on the radio, and I pulled over and I just bawled.
Yeah.
And I don't know how true that story is, but I like to think that it is true, and it makes a lot of sense, and it rings true for a lot of people that, it is like I've caught myself after I saw that bit. I caught myself like sitting in the car and just start to think about stuff like, I don't want to think about that. And I pick up the phone and like start twittering or something, and like, no, I got to put it down and like just sit in the void, whatever it is, whatever comes to me at the time. It's a strange thing to just sit there.
Yeah. I mean, bringing this up, I'm not any better than that either, because I have an extra hard time putting my phone away and being disconnected from stuff.
Yeah.
As much as I like to kind of, fight that kind of movement of always being connected and social media and all that type of stuff, and just, disconnecting for a while, it's hard for me to do that. It's a genuine addiction, I feel, with a lot of people, myself included. So,
because that's how we were brought up in that. Technology has always been around us, so we always feel like we need it around us.
Right. It's partly just the way that that's what we've always had. And I don't fault kids who, they may be losing their humanity, but it's partly not their fault. I would say it's majority not their fault, because they grow up with an iPad in their hands,
Right.
So it's not, we're grooming them to be these kind of people.
Right.
So you can't be angry you can be angry at us, and be angry at, your friend who has a kid who's 4 and they're already better at the iPad than you are. Like, be angry at that person because they're the one who's grooming them to be that kind of person. You can't be angry at the kids. Like, I saw this guy, he posted this he posted a link to a Time magazine article where it was a video of Time showing kids a Walkman, a tape recorder.
Right, yeah.
And his caption is, "I hate kids." And it's like, how are they supposed to know what a Walkman is? It's funny because it's nostalgic, and it's like, look, you don't even know what this is, and I used to own one. But you can't be angry at them for not knowing what it is.
This is why I hate kids.
Yeah, it's like
if someone our age as a child was handed like an 8-track or something.
Exactly. It would be funny to that person presenting it to them like, look, you don't even know what this is, and I used to have one of these all the time. But you can't be angry at that person for not knowing what it is. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. One of my managers always had a good saying whenever I had a question about anything technological, because it was back at the news station that I worked at.
This was like every day?
Yeah, all the time. But whenever I had a question about something, he would always tell me, ask. Don't be afraid to ask that question. He would come back to me whenever I'd ask it, do you know about this thing? Like, have you ever dealt with it before? And I'd say, no, I haven't. And he goes, well, how the hell are you supposed to know about it then? Like, don't be afraid to ask that question, because you're not supposed to have known about that.
Right.
Like, there's no way of you to have known about that thing that you had no experience with. So it's the same thing. But the fact that you bring up the next generation coming out is what scares me a little bit. Because if it's that hard for me, somebody that, grew up before the internet was as widespread as it is today, remembering payphones and not having a cell phone in your pocket all the time, how hard is it going to be for kids in the next generation or the generation after that to separate from their technology?
They got no hope. There's no hope for them.
That's my question. Cause...
I mean, we talked about Oculus Rift before, and how something like that seemed so beautiful to us, virtual reality, when it got bought by Facebook, like, we already know where it's going to go. We can act like we don't, but come on. I mean, you can say, like, I don't want to jump the gun, but it's Facebook. And I read an article that Facebook is trying to add more ads to your news feed.
Of course
it's
they
like,
are. That's money.
When does it stop? But what the reason I bring up the Oculus Rift is because we're always going to be connected.
stops when we suck.
We never unplug from the Matrix.
No.
Ever. I mean,
that's what that movie's about.
That's yeah.
It's coming true.
That's it, man. Because
Yeah.
how would we even know at this point? We're always plugged in.
We're disconnected, man. We're conscious, bro.
Nah,
We're disconnected by being plugged in, man. Think about it.
because we're always trying to be plugged in. Think about it. It's sick. But to go back to your original question, because I've had time to kind of think about it, kind of process it while we were talking about that. We've gone astray a little bit.
Oh my.
We're all appalled. Oh man.
It's sick.
I would.
The anger of like an entire generation just channeled into 2 words. It's sick.
I hate Spirit Bomb.
Yeah.
I would say that it does help, to reiterate what you were saying, it does help flex that conversation muscle. I don't know. It also makes me feel like, because I like doing creative things and then putting them out for public consumption.
Right.
I enjoy that a lot. Just putting stuff out and seeing what people think about it, getting opinions, giving opinions, which is, this medium is perfect for a person like me who likes to fucking hear themselves talk and who likes to give opinions and hear opinions.
Right.
So, I mean, that helps a lot because it makes that process more fluid. It gets us thinking about stuff like that. It makes us more conscious of how we deliver our opinions as opposed to just saying, I don't like that. It's like, well, why don't you like it?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that I've gotten better at, not just automatically shooting stupid things down that I think or that I disagree with. Now I guess, at least hear you out first.
Before he shoots it down.
Yeah, before I shoot it
Immediately
down.
before shooting it
I'll
down.
at least get your logic and insult your reasoning and your logic
Yeah.
at the store.
And you have a stronger argument then.
Right. Because you just shoot something down, you don't know why, but if he can tell you why it's stupid.
Yeah, but
or
I like the initial shoot down and then defend your topic and it's like nope, still
And then
dumb,
keep shooting
still
it down.
dumb, and it just escalates into a fist fight.
But see, that's where the
That's
blood
where it
comes
ends
from.
in blood. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's just 2 hits. I hit you, you hit the floor.
Boom.
Damn.
But yeah, it helps with that. It's a good tool, and it can be a vehicle for a lot of things. And that's another thing that I like about it. It can be a good foundation for a lot of stuff that we want to do. As far as we've talked about wanting to do more creative things. This is a good baseline for all that.
I always view this as sort of our pilot project. Like if this worked out, we can branch out and do other things. Yeah. We always wanted to do more stuff in film. We always wanted to, do bigger projects and things like that. So, so far so good with this. We just have to kind of expand and grow within it. But yeah, like for me personally, I know you don't have this problem, Marco, but I've always been kind of an introvert. So I generally...
Fucking nerd.
I know. That's how I've always been. Like I've been able to kind of hide behind my craft as a writer because I don't have to, make that physical connection, one-on-one, eye contact, talking to somebody. So this has really helped me to branch out in that, and I feel like it's kind of helped me make more of a human connection with other people. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. I like that. That's good.
But good job, everybody, all around. Yeah.
Thanks, Adam.
Once again, episode 10, double digits.
We made it.
It's
We
a
made it,
beautiful
boys.
Think what's the next achievement, next mark?
Yeah. What's the next mile mark? Like, what do you guys want this podcast to become?
I want the next mile mark to be episode 25, and then 50, and then 100.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do it like that.
Yeah.
25, then 50, then 100.
We can do like a big party for 100.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just
That actually would be kind of cool.
special guests
and then
stuff.
like we'll backtrack. If we have any like special guests, like you mentioned Andino coming on, which I think would be awesome. He would be an awesome
I would love
addition.
to have him on.
Yeah. Shout out to Andino.
Yeah,
And,
that would be cool.
Just have everybody just
Have like a retrospective of the first
like
100.
or no, let's not do that lame thing where some people be like, hey, here's all the highlights of the first 100 episodes.
We
No,
do the filler episode.
Yeah, no.
The one in the elevator. We're all stuck in the elevator and
Oh,
we
that could
show
be like
clips.
that could be like 99.5. That's
Yeah.
episode 99.5
Yeah.
until we do episode 100.
All right.
And then on episode 100, we bring everybody back. We try to bring everyone who we had, or just like a respectful number.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people we're going to have sit in, but...
I mean, at a certain point, we all want to eventually film these podcasts as well. So, hopefully by episode maybe 25, we'd be able to have that down. And
That's way too long. Episode 25? That's almost 6 months.
well, yeah, but I mean, we still need to buy microphone equipment first.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the first on the list. But yeah, I think realistically we can have that down by 25 for sure.
All right, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's behind the curtain.
You folks at home don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we're just gonna get better and better, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of bringing back old stuff,
What?
I wanted to bring back a bit that I think is hilarious.
Because it's at my expense.
Yep.
I made a bit, and
You didn't make a bit.
you named.
I was the bit.
You are the bit.
I'm the life.
You're the
of that
biggest
You're the
bit I
lifeblood
know.
of the bit.
No, you're just the son of a bit.
Okay,
You're a
Right.
dumb bit.
that's disrespectful.
It's a good bit.
Did we
Alright.
just make a bit about a bit?
We did.
Fives. That's what happens on episode 10.
Yep. Special things.
And this bit is called Sports with Dave.
Sports.
It's hilarious to me, and it's when we ask Dave, who is somebody who is not the biggest on sports.
I kind of don't care.
I guess that's an understatement.
Yeah.
And I just asked his opinion on sports-related things. So let's start it off. First, the NFL draft is tonight.
Yay.
What'd you think? Who'd you think was going to go number one?
Oh, definitely Brett Dan Hoffner.
What did you think of Blake Bortles being chosen number 3
I
by
don't give a fuck
Jacksonville
about
Jaguars?
Blake Bortles.
Nothing? Don't give a fuck about Blake Bortles?
No.
All right.
For the anybody who's been under a rock, because even I know about it. Blake,
That's a big deal.
Blake
Yeah.
It's not. Blake
It's a big deal.
We're not going to have this conversation again. Blake Bortles was a high school graduate of our hometown,
Oviedo High.
Oviedo, and then was what is he? Quarterback.
Yes.
Quarterback for the UCF football team, which is also across the street from Oviedo. Who was third draft pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Listen
Okay.
to
Look at
Sports
that,
with Dave.
man.
Listen to Sports with Dave.
He's doing good. So
Uh-huh.
proud of him.
All right.
Smiles. Anyway, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Doesn't care.
All right.
Lightning round. What'd you think of Kevin Durant being chosen as the MVP this year?
Cool.
What do you think of the playoffs? What was your favorite game?
Oh, all of them are my favorite.
Did you think the first round was a round to remember?
I don't think so.
What about that Damian Lillard 3-point shot he made at the buzzer?
It was really good. Did they win? Should have asked me about freaking Jameis, whatever, stealing the crab legs.
Oh, James.
Jameis.
What's his name? Jameis.
James.
Jameis.
That's what I said.
Jameis Winston. Oh yeah, I guess like 2 more. Jameis Winston. What'd you think about his altercation with the law enforcement, and how he got into that altercation?
It's very shellfish.
Nope. Nope.
All right, and last but not least, what is your opinion on Donald Sterling?
Yeah.
And that was Sports with Dave.
All right.
There you go.
So, coming out very soon. I don't know if you guys are aware, but a brand new Michael Jackson album's coming out.
Okay.
Why?
Why? Because
Why can't they just leave things alone?
I didn't even have to pose the question, and you guys are already into it. So
I mean, I'm excited for it.
okay. You guys hold it there. Let me finish the question completely, just so people have some context.
I'd rather just fight Marco right now.
I know. Hold it back. Hold back the fire just for a couple minutes. But okay, the album's due out May 13th, right?
Why is that the day he died?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't
no-
believe so. There's no significance to it. I'm just saying it's coming out soon.
Oh,
basically.
I don't know why. Like, I thought you saying the date was
Significant.
part of the story.
No. Just to give it context, that it's coming out soon.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week. So,
It's called Escape.
Escape. The album features Mary J. Blige, Questlove, D'Angelo.
I'm out. I'm asleep.
Nah, you tripping.
Over it already.
You over it?
No.
You excited about it?
D'Angelo, Questlove, Mary J. Blige,
Questlove, yes. Mary J. Blige, no.
Timbaland is
Nope.
producing
It's
it.
produced majority by Timbaland. So
You need to listen to more Justin Timberlake. Yes, those words just came out of my mouth.
Yeah, yeah. I get that. But that's Justin Timberlake. It's not Michael Jackson.
Timberland knows what he's doing. I have faith in Timbo.
Okay. So I have sort of a broader question
How's
than
his,
even that.
How's the shoe line doing?
Oh, shut up.
Okay.
So.
I'm not giving you that one.
No. Marco kept a straight face as long as possible. No, but you guys are getting on the right track of what I'm trying to nail down here, which is, are you okay with the idea of albums coming out posthumously when artists die?
Oh,
What's that college word mean?
After people die.
Ooh.
that's a good question.
What the college word is?
Shut up.
Oh.
Because I knew what that word was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're a college boy.
You read sometimes.
Sometimes. I don't know, man. That's hard. That's hard to answer.
Because, I mean, mind you, specifically with the Michael Jackson thing, like, the family of Michael Jackson supporting this project. So that, you know,
And they
has
don't
to
need
factor
no
in.
money.
They don't. So that factors into, I guess, the decision-making with
I think
that.
the only thing that matters is whoever's doing it is first doing it for the right reason, and second, trying to stay as faithful to what they think the artist would have done.
Well, let me back you up. What's the right reason to you?
If he has material, if this artist has material that artist wanted to see the light of day, not like, demos and bullshit, but like songs that they wanted people to hear.
Right.
And, this person, I would like for the person making the stuff to have known the artist. But that's, I guess that's asking a bit much.
Yeah.
Like, with all the Tupac stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I would like to have most of those producers had known him before he died, if they
Okay.
were gonna put his stuff out. Like when Eminem produced the soundtrack to the album. I'm sorry, the movie, the Tupac Resurrection.
Right.
Eminem produced that, which I mean,
They were good friends, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the kind of thing. Like, some of it turned out well, but some of it had an obvious Eminem feel to it. And
Most
it was
of it,
like,
I'd say.
yeah, and it was like, Eminem is highly respected in the hip hop community, obviously, but there's only so far that respect goes. It's like there's some people who hold Tupac to this god-like status. I'm not one of them, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, it's very
And-
much a different conversation.
When you see somebody like Eminem, who at the time was still, he was still the biggest rapper in the game, no doubt about it. At the time, like 2002, 2003, he ran shit. Him, Jay-Z, Nelly, Diddy, they ran shit. So to see him have his fingerprints all over it, I could see why people would cut a side eye to it. It'd be really jarring for big fans of Tupac. Same thing goes for the Michael Jackson thing. Like,
Right.
I can see why some people are going, Timberland? Ugh, I don't... And then you see the album cover, and then you kind of feel like they're just trying to jump on the coattails, Like with the Aaliyah album, when Drake was supposed to come out with an Aaliyah album.
Right.
And it was like, what, just because he's a fan, that means he gets to, like, take over and just,
Because he's sensitive enough to do it.
right. He knows how that's supposed to sound. But it's like,
My only problem is it's all right, but draw the line somewhere. Like, I don't need like a Biggie duets coming out again.
right, yeah, that was painful.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm sorry.
That in my
Splash
face.
you right in the face. That's what I'm talking about. That shit. That is not doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
A lot of those guys, I don't think Biggie would have done a song with.
E40.
Like, yeah, I think he might have done a song with E40.
Think you would have?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just because people now are not really big into E40, like mid '90s E40, he had.
He was around for a while.
Two fat rappers. I mean, come on.
I mean, come on.
Bring back Heavy D.
Bring back Heavy D.
But just like the
Rest in peace.
just the terrible club shit that was on that album, it just didn't sound like a Biggie album. It sounded like Diddy with his hand in the cookie jar. That's what it sounded like.
But I mean,
That's what it was.
yeah, absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely. But going by your standards too, Diddy knew Biggie. Like
That's true. That's true.
so.
That's true. I think Diddy's a different kind of person, though.
Yeah.
Diddy's out for the bottom line, the dollar bills, y'all.
He probably went to Biggie's funeral and then went to work right after.
Right. Yep. Kept the same suit on.
Gotta finish this album.
But
It
I
was
mean,
shiny.
Yeah, he goes, all right, he's dead now. Time to work on this album.
takes the jacket off and shining the undershirt,
Silky shoot or shiny suit man.
shiny suits.
Shiny suits.
That was his one gimmick.
So yeah, I mean, I mean, I've heard some of the songs from this Michael Jackson album. They sound faithful to what I think, because they're recordings from the 80s. They're not taking these recordings, putting them on a Will.i.am beat.
Right.
They're trying to make them sound as faithful as they can to the era when he recorded the vocals. Like, if you listen to, I forgot what the song's called, the single that's coming out for it, Love, Just Enough, something like that.
Is it the one with Justin Timberlake?
Yes.
Okay.
That one.
They have 2 singles that are coming out apparently. I didn't hear the Justin Timberlake one, but I heard the one that was produced by Timbaland.
Yeah.
Something Blue.
Yeah. Blue Gangster.
Blue Gangster.
Yeah.
That's right.
I haven't heard that. The one with JT on it, I mean, it sounds like something he would have done off the wall era Michael Jackson. Like, there's string section. It's got like this disco funk vibe to it. It's a good song, and it sounds like what he would have done if he were alive. In that instance, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I mean, I don't advertise it, but Michael Jackson is my favorite artist ever.
Yeah.
Ever. So, I mean, I'm all for it. Yeah. Exactly. I'm all for it.
There's no shame in that, Marco. It's fine.
I'm just saying, like, people fucking.
It's a popular belief.
No, it's not like, it's not a fucking like, ooh, you like Michael Jackson, fucking hipster. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is like.
I don't know. It's more of like a you and everyone.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like it's not like when I say that it's an unpopular thing to say.
Right.
Like no one listens.
It's not
to
a controversial
Jackson.
choice.
Right. I'm just saying I don't like to like fucking blast it all over Facebook every time he comes out with something new, or when he did come out with something new.
Right.
So, I'm down for it. I just feel like it needs to be done with extra special care and done for the right reasons, and try to sound like the artist is here. You know.
Okay.
Don't try to make some new updated thing with vocals that are 10, 20 years old. That's what they try to do with fucking Big L. I mean, he recorded raps from the mid-90s, and they put them on beats from 2005, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. So it's clearly just like a blend.
Yeah.
That's it. So.
And I mean, you can just fucking... Any DJ can do that.
Yeah.
What's the point? Except for the money.
Adam used to do blends.
I used to do blends.
He didn't get no money, though.
Any DJ can do that.
I think that... I agree with you, Marco, in the fact that as long as it's done in sort of in the right spirit, that sort of the artists you could see wanting to make that type of project. If it's something that is completely off the wall, that yeah. But yeah, if it's something that you don't think the artist would have done themselves, then I think it's in sort of bad taste.
Right.
Because you're doing it after they can't have a say in it anymore.
Right.
You're doing it without their permission, basically. You can have the permission of their family and stuff like that, but that's still not them signing off on it. And I mean, say if I were to produce for the new Michael Jackson record, I'd feel a little uncomfortable because I wouldn't have his input to say like, yes, I like what you're doing here, and no, I don't agree with you, doing this. It's
like hearing something about a celebrity who died and then trashing them. It's like, well, they're not here to defend themselves.
Right.
Even though this is a positive thing that they're trying to do for him, it's the same instance. It's like you put something out, and if people hate it, they're gonna hate Michael Jackson. And they're gonna blame him. Right. It tarnishes his legacy. Right. They're gonna look, because that's what happened with a bunch of Tupac albums.
Ignorant standpoint. Are you saying because people don't understand these weren't complete songs?
Yes, that's what. Yes, a lot of people don't understand.
People are under the assumptions that these songs were just done.
They're just laying around,
sitting in a vault somewhere.
Right. Yeah. And they were just put out like saying, this is the direction that Tupac was gonna go in, because these are songs that he put out. He just didn't get a chance to, because that's how they advertise it. It's sort of a mistake to make it sound like it is from the era that they were recorded in. So at least if they were made in today's style, you'd be able to tell all right, well, at least if you heard that the vocals were recorded in the past, you'd be able to tell, okay, now they're just laying over a trashy beat on this, trying to churn out $1. Right. I mean, you can look at it like that, but there's still people who are going to look at it and go, they're going to say, they may not blame Michael Jackson as an artist, but they will say, now that this is attached to his discography, it ruins it. It brings it down.
You can't unhear it once you've heard it.
Right. And it's always, every time you think about Mike, you're gonna think about Thriller, Beat It, you know, Off the Wall, and then you're gonna think about this trash album that they put out. You're always gonna. That's what when I think about Tupac, I think, man, he had some classics, and then I think there's like 12 albums that I could just throw in the garbage and not feel anything about.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you can't. And he had no say over eight or nine of those albums.
Right.
He had no say over
He
them.
does. He's alive.
He's alive.
He's in Cuba.
He's in Cuba. Yeah.
Bahamas.
Let's be real. He's in Cuba. Shout out to Tupac.
Yeah.
We see you, Tupac.
Dave, you want to have the final say?
Okay. Again, it's one of those topics where initially, like, I really just think like they should just stop messing with people's shit and leave the legacy that they left behind as is. You know, but that's my main fear, was it becoming another Biggie duets, and that, you know, it's just garbage because like I didn't hear anything about it. I'm hearing about it now, but yeah, I mean, after hearing you guys talk about it, yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be something that is accurate to what the artist actually would want, what he would want, then cool. But who's to say what he would actually want?
That's true.
Yeah.
Because even if it sounds like something you think, like, oh yeah, Mike would do that.
This
It's
is
like,
totally
you don't know
Michael's
that.
style.
Right, you don't fucking know.
Right.
2014, Mike could have been doing something totally different.
Right.
Right, and they could very easily go, all right, here, each one of these tracks, just pick, you know, one of his albums and the most popular song from the album and make it sound like that,
Yep.
sort of in the same style.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's very Michael nostalgic.
Yeah. And Quincy Jones is still alive.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
why
still
is
alive and
he
kicking.
not even around for this?
You would think for what is possibly Michael Jackson's final project, really.
Won't be the final one.
You're probably right, honestly. But for what could be the final project
He's in
with
Cuba.
with my they're making records.
Hey, Tupac.
Yeah.
How's it going? I knew you were here. I heard about it from Biggie.
Who's also still alive.
You want some Hennessy?
You actually
Yeah,
talk
why-
like that?
Why is why wouldn't he be a part of it? You know?
Yeah, that's my question. I mean, like, it makes no sense that this is his final sort of, it could be his final goodbye, you know, his final stamp of, I worked with this man and I know intimately how he made his music.
Right.
So why not? Like, he's probably the closest producer that ever got to Mike, you know?
Going back to the Aaliyah album, they got canceled because the people who actually knew her weren't supportive of it. You know, Missy wasn't down with it. Timbaland wasn't down with it. You know, DeBrat. You know, people who that was her fucking name. Don't fucking laugh. I didn't make that up. That was her fucking name.
That's her own fault.
Yeah, she brought that on herself.
God, grown woman.
Yep.
DeBrat.
They weren't okay with it. You know.
I got one more point to make about this,
Okay.
because it's hard to say when there is sort of, like you guys were saying, a vault of material that's still around after an artist is deceased, because people naturally want to hear that. You know, people want to hear that material. They want to hear it come out eventually, regardless if it's there. You know, it's just one of those things. I'm sure when, you know, Bob Dylan dies eventually, there's going to be a whole vault of things that he never released that Rolling Stone's going to give a 10 out of 10.
Just a bunch of CEOs like
Yeah, just waiting.
just rubbing their hands
buzzards.
together. Just come on and kick it. Can't wait to
Like Tony Bennett.
fuck off.
Inside Joke Town. But anyway, my point was, it's hard to say when there are songs that these artists recorded that may not have supposed to come out, but now that they're gone, they don't have a say because they're dead, right?
Right.
People want that stuff. So if not only people can make money off of it, but the audience wants it, why not release that material?
Right.
You know, if the family of the deceased or whoever's in control of those records deems it, you know, okay to do that, why not do it?
Right.
You know, it makes basically everybody happy. The record company's making money. The people that wanted to hear those tracks are hearing those tracks and they can buy it. Why not do it?
Right.
You know, I'm much more comfortable personally with somebody doing like a covers album instead, where, you know, you pay tribute to these artists by doing your own interpretations. Therefore, if they suck, it's on you. It's not on the artist. But that gets thrown out the window when there's unreleased material that people just want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to buy the song you heard that might be shitty? when you can have material you've never heard before.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying for like an artist like maybe Amy Winehouse or something that wasn't super prolific, as in creating a whole backlist of tracks that people are dying to listen to. You know, even she had one album that came out posthumously. Right. But somebody like that doesn't have a whole catalog of stuff locked away somewhere, they could easily pay equal tribute, I feel, by just doing an entire album of their own versions of her songs that people already like, but doing it in their own way in order to pay tribute to them. So, you know, I'd like to see maybe a Michael Jackson tribute compilation type thing.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
See how they handle it.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy it.
You would not like it.
I wouldn't buy it.
No, because you're talking about Biggie duets.
No, it's not the same thing.
That's not the same thing.
A compilation tribute album?
No, doing the cover. They've done it before. They did it. I think they did a Ray Charles one. Genius Loves Company. Actually, I think he was part of that. But
yeah, I think
they've done this before, where they just have a bunch of people who were influenced by that person do covers of their songs, of that person's songs. It's not the same thing. They're not forcing themselves on a song with somebody who didn't even know them. They're saying this guy was a hero of mine, and I want to pay tribute by trying to reinterpret their song
in my own style.
Right.
So I think that's much more respectful, as opposed to, like you were saying with Big Duets, bringing the dead person into the studio with you to go, we're going to do this together and you have no choice in the matter. Let's record this song together.
Basically, it's just fucking pathetic to try to do some shit like that. It's bad enough jumping on a song with people, like when rappers record a freestyle over a song and just put their verse in the beginning of a big song, and then the people are still on it. It's like, you weren't there. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is weird. Like, it looks weird.
And the only, especially if they didn't like change anything about the song,
They just
kind of just put themselves on loop in the beginning, and like anybody with any nobody could do that.
Yeah.
Find a song with just enough time to loop it and just jump on it.
Yeah,
Anybody could do that shit.
On that note, too, with all the stuff that's been coming out with Dilla, in particular, how do you feel about people jumping onto Dilla beats?
I did, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, not only that, but like even unreleased Dilla stuff that's been coming out as far as instrumentals that may not have been ready to come out.
Well,
it's the same sort of...
With that, I think Dilla was the kind of person who wanted that. That's why he put stuff out like that. I mean, he put out hundreds of stuff. He was just in there, just in his room, just knocking beats out all the time.
Right.
And he just flushed them out. And when people rapped on him, it was just like, whatever. I mean, when he wanted to give something to somebody, like, that person got it. You didn't just, a Dilla beat didn't just fall in your hands. Like, he made beats for people. So when he put stuff out like that, I think even if the artist is trash and doesn't really do any justice to the beat, I think the intent is there.
Right.
And I think Dilla, wouldn't look at it like, what is this trash motherfucker doing on my beat? I think he would just go, this is a beautiful thing that there's so many people who have access to my instrumentals, and they're trying to do something beautiful with it.
Right. You should do a Dilla mixtape and call it Marco Dilla.
It's good.
It is.
Yeah, but I mean, I apparently he was...
And it'll be you eating a donut on the cover.
Yeah.
It's Homer Simpson style.
Dilla. I will say,
say it.
I'm excited for the Michael Jackson album. I want to see. I want to do sales projections. What do you think? First week sales for it.
What do we look like?
People.
What do we look like?
Who just
finance majors?
Hey,
I don't
think
do
you
math.
need to be a finance major? Just throw a number out there.
People don't buy records anymore.
I think people are gonna buy it.
It's gonna be a lot of downloads.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going 300,000 first week.
100,000.
100,000?
Yeah. I just don't think people are gonna be that into it when it comes out.
100,001.
$1, Bob.
You bastard. You dick.
Without going over.
So yeah. So I will be one of those people buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting it.
Don't buy 300,000 copies just to prove your point.
If I had the money, I wouldn't. But
yeah.
yeah. I'm ready. I'm excited for it. So
The tracks I heard so far are good. So
yeah. All right. I think that's a pretty good place to put the brakes on. This was a good episode. Episode 10 of the One Beer In podcast. We made it. It's a good feeling. My name is Marco Dupa. You can catch me at Dupa Get Butt on Instagram and Marco Dupa on everything else.
this is Obesius, aka Adam Rodriguez. You can find me at Obesius most places, and obviously Adam Rodriguez everywhere else.
Just find me on Instagram, Rome_arrow, ROAM, arrow, not like bow and arrow, but like, you know, the prefix.
Exactly.
The prefix.
And One Beer In podcast. Google it, find us, listen to it, enjoy it.
Subscribe, like, all that
Yes,
good stuff.
all
Critique it.
Yes.
Give us comments,
Give us your
suggestions.
opinions.
Yeah. Give us a thumbs up and down, or
Yes.
mostly up,
Trash
please.
it.
Thank you.
Do what
If
you
you like
need to do.
If you like the podcast, like it. If you don't like it, dislike it. If you got any comments, leave them in the box.
There you go. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good night.
Bye.
Or day.
Whatever.